My name is Chris Cull. I'm a two-time cross-Canada cyclist, filmmaker, motivational speaker, Canadian Centre on Substance Use and Addiction board member, and in recovery from opioid use disorder. I profoundly understood the impact of words like addict, junkie. If you're a journalist, and I think there's a professional responsibility and a moral obligation to make sure you're choosing your words and not causing harm to the people who are trusting you with those stories.
I'm Gord Garner. I'm the youngest son of Don and Eleanor and the lifelong brother of Alan. And I have a substance use disorder that I've lived with well these last few years and struggled with for most of my life. But I've always been Gord. The images I see in the media are images of people really struggling on many levels, including impoverishment quite oftenly. And I don't see any of the images of people living in houses, working, that are struggling with substance use issues. The reality is that 80% of Canadians over the age of 15 are using substances of some kind this year. So who are we talking about? Who do we want to portray? And what story are we telling?
If I could talk directly to journalists, what I would say is put yourself in my position. My name is Angie Hamilton. I'm the Executive Director and co-founder of Families for Addiction Recovery, or FAR. The first interview I did on TV, I was quite anxious. I was talking about my son and his struggle with substance use disorder from the age of 14. When they actually showed the clip, they panned to a dirty arm injecting substances in an alleyway.
The media, both news and fiction, have an incredible role to play in dismantling the stigma around substance use. I'm Alexander Cadarella, the CEO at the Canadian Centre on Substance Use and Addiction, or the CCSA, and I'm a family physician who specializes in issues around substance use health. I can appreciate that for journalists, it might be scary to think about changing how you're going to report or the narrative that you need to report. But a lot of the times it's very simple. It's about using person-first language, talking about people who use drugs instead of words like addict or junkie. Given that there's already so many layers of stigma that are preventing people from reaching out for help or even just disclosing their issues to their healthcare providers, it's really going to be the media's responsibility to empower and lift up people.
By the language that you're using. We're not saying it's malice, but we are saying it's ignorance. We need to have an education about that.
I think we start by presenting people with substance use disorders, with mental health disorders, as a human being first.
Don't assume everybody's injecting. Don't assume it looks like people who are homeless. They're your lawyer, your doctor, your dentist. If my child had cancer, no one would say, "Oh, I'm so sorry your child is a cancer." Well, guess what? My child struggles with addiction, and he's not an addict because he is not his disease. He's so much more than that.
We are asking you to practice changing your language. Be helpful, not hurtful.